Hey, I'm Jana Henson.
I'm Maggie Duffy.
And this is The Peanut Gallery, a Tampa Bay Arts Passport podcast. And this is our theme song. Welcome to... You're not going to join me?
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the Peanut Gallery, a Tampa Bay Arts Passport podcast production.
Yeah.
I think we did great. I think we did great.
We did. It's amazing.
Yes, I'm like, we're taking submissions as well, though.
Exactly.
Even though that was heavily rehearsed. So yeah, what's going on in arts?
Okay, well, let's see. It's heating up for the fall. I am going to shamelessly self-promote again. Sorry, but I am curating Creative Pinellas' next exhibition, which is called Amped. And it is also our fundraiser for Creative Pinellas. So it opens on September 5th, and that's the night of the fundraising party. And it's called Amped Turn Up for the Arts. Mm-hmm. So the title comes because we are amped that last year we lost our funding from the county, but we're still going. And we have a whole new direction, and we are just really excited to still be here and doing stuff and having an amazing group show that I put a call for entries out, and we've got like a lot of great artists that are going to be that have applied. And so on opening night, we also do performing arts as part of that.
Okay.
And they perform on opening night. So we have Liz Glushko, who is a cellist, and then Jody Karam, who is an opera singer. So they'll be performing on opening night. But the exhibition will run through November 1st, and it's at Floridorama Gallery.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and because it ends on November 1st and Halloween is on a Saturday, we're also doing a Halloween party. So it's going to be cool. We're going to have a costume contest. The theme is dress up as your favorite music video, album cover, or just artist, which can be musical artists, and we'll have a costume contest.
Do you have your costume picked out or any ideas yet?
I do. I'm thinking, so I was going to do the whole Live Through This album cover where it's like the prom queen and her mascara is like all smudged on her face. Because I read that Courtney Love actually like modeled that after the movie Carrie, where she's got the blood.
So a little Halloween music, crossover event.
So I'm thinking that, but then my go-to is usually Madonna. And
which Madonna, though? Papa Don't Preach?
This newest album cover where she's got the Confessions on a Dance Floor, too.
Yeah.
She's got like this whole purple thing with a purple veil.
Yeah.
So maybe. We'll see.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'll go. I love dressing up. I'm thinking... Whitney Houston.
Oh, yes.
I Have Nothing, the little gold gown with the little gold headdress. I don't know if I can pull it off, but
you can.
We're going to go for it. We're
doing
100%.
it. I'm so excited.
Curious about what kind of art you're curating. So I know Floridorama is a pretty quirky. Is that sort of in the same vein? Are there any artists we want to shout out?
I haven't done all the selection yet.
Yeah.
So really the performing artists are the only ones that we've locked in.
Yeah.
But we've gotten some great submissions, and it's there's a lot of people that I have never heard their name before.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that because it's just finding these new people, or they're not new, but new to us, that haven't exhibited with us before. So it'll run the gamut. It's going to be, there's some quirky, there's some, sophisticated. It's going to be great.
Nice.
I'm very excited.
What else you got going on?
Oh, well, I've been haunting the Floridorama space a little bit lately.
Not haunting.
So it's in the Factory, St. Pete, where the Wild Space Gallery is. And that is a gallery of the Florida Wildlife Corridor. And that is a foundation that is set up to protect this corridor through Florida from the Everglades up to the Georgia and Alabama borders. Where it's farms and ranches and forests and rivers, but it's at threat, because of development. Mm-hmm. So this gallery is wonderful. They do exhibits that all the art is sort of environmentally based. So the latest one is Ernesto Maranje, And he's a muralist who actually has painted all over the world, including Iraq, Lebanon, Ukraine. But he's based in Florida, in Sunrise, Florida. And he paints these beautiful landscape and animal wildlife paintings. And it's Florida wildlife. It's beautiful. And it's like the paintings are where the animal and the landscape are almost blurred, where you can't see where one ends and the other begins. And it's sort of like conceptually, he's talking about, the way that wildlife has been so like
marginalized.
Yeah,
or kind
exactly.
Of like fragmented.
Yes, exactly, because of development, and they've got like little space to move around. So he has a mural on the front of the building, and it's got like a heron and an alligator and an otter.
Yeah.
And then he just painted a new mural on the inside of the building, and it's got a panther, Florida panther. And then inside is all these canvases, and a lot of them are bears, which I really connected with.
Yeah.
They're really beautiful. And so when you see the bodies of the animals, there's a lot like foliage within it. It's really beautiful. And he only started painting 10 years ago. He was in the Coast Guard and had been injured. And so he was like painting something.
Yeah.
And he saw people painting the California flag, which has a bear in it.
Yeah.
And so then they kind of asked him, do you want to take over this project? And so he learned like a grid technique. Mm-hmm. And then he just started painting. And he's like an engineer. So it doesn't surprise me that he's like so good at figuring out like not only painting, but like big murals. And he says, it's a matter of problem solving.
Yeah. Especially with like the grid technique. It's a really like systematic way of kind of like replicating an image exactly, and not getting too overwhelmed with like completing the big picture, just focusing on the parts of the whole rather than like the whole, which is really cool. Something I really appreciate about this project is an acknowledgement of the wildlife that we have in Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know if have you lived around the country? I think that we take for granted a lot of the times just how much wildlife and how much cool wildlife that we're in proximity to every single day. Like I find myself, leaving the state and actually missing sandhill cranes,
Yes.
So it's like a double-edged sword. It's, we have the ability to see beautiful cranes and eagles and alligators and turtles, but also I think we have to think about what does that mean, the fact that we are seeing so much wildlife in golf courses, in the yard. This is their home, this placement. But yeah, that is...
We've taken over.
Exactly. Yeah. And when was this exhibit running again?
It is through in September. So I think it's like the middle of September.
Okay.
Don't have the exact date. Sorry about that.
I'll drop by.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely make sure you do, because another cool thing that he does is that he starts, they're all very green. I mean, it's like very green. That's the main palette. But then there's these wonderful like touches of bright pinks and oranges. And what he actually does is paints the base in those brights, and sometimes he leaves like the edge of the canvas with that, and so that it makes this light on the wall that looks like a sunset.
Like a glow, like a little
glow. Yes, like a glow.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really cool. And he's based in Sunrise, Florida.
I actually don't know where Sunrise
is.
It's
South Florida.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I think it's Broward County.
Okay, I'm losing my Floridian card.
Sure.
I don't know where Sunrise is. We're in the Sunshine State.
I know.
Yeah. There was another thing that you got a chance to see that I want to talk about and get your thoughts on.
Okay, cool.
The Art of Banksy.
Yes.
So tell me how that was.
Okay, so I knew that none of the works were, this exhibition is not authorized by Banksy, right?
I didn't know that.
No,
okay.
So Banksy doesn't do exhibitions. This is comprised of works that were from collectors, so it's more of it does a really good job of telling the story of Banksy, so there's a lot of informational panels.
Yeah.
And it's set up on the Straz stage, so that's pretty cool because you're like on the stage and you don't realize it. But so it tells a lot about his impact. He is he has a message, and that's kind of why he doesn't do exhibitions, right? And like, there's the whole reference to the painting that when it was up at auction and it started shredding itself.
Yeah, was that the girl in the red balloon, I believe?
I think so. Yeah. So it does a good job of that. The friend that I took with me kept saying like, well, if the money that collected from this goes to like some type of charity, or it doesn't, Banksy gets nothing out of any of that.
Okay.
So it sort of almost loses his impact, sort of almost gets lost.
It's a little ironic because he's kind of this like ephemeral, anonymous presence.
Yes.
And I've been having thoughts on this. I'm like, first of all, he's an anonymous artist
right.
who operates under a pseudonym, right? So do you have a theory on who Banksy is or who he might be? I have a few like.
I thought they like named him earlier last year or something like that, but apparently, I mean, there was a whole CNN.
There was
story about his name is Robin Gunningham.
Oh,
but that now people are saying that's not true
well,
or
that
whatever.
Dashes my
it's not confirmed.
Right out of the water.
Who were?
Yeah, I was under the impression, I had a theory that there were multiple Banksys and they're all operating under the same name.
Yeah.
Now You See Me style, or maybe Andy Warhol style.
Yeah.
And then my other theory was Beyonce. But obviously it's not Beyonce if we've named him in a documentary.
Yeah.
But okay, well.
Yeah. Well, but Banksy is an activist first and foremost.
Yeah.
And so, it's like sort of not seeing the work on a canvas in a space is so different than seeing his work in the wild, where he went to where things are happening and reacted.
And one thing that strikes me about Banksy that kind of carries over into what I saw over the past month is impermanence and kind of ephemera. And I had this really cool opportunity to see this exhibit at the MFA called The Last Library 4, Written in Water. And no, this is not the fourth installment of some forgotten James Cameron series. It is an arts exhibit by Doug Paulson and Ward Shelley. And basically it's this, they basically have built out this false library in the room of the MFA using an optical illusion. I believe it's based off of this this structure in Rome called Palazzo Espada that talks about like forced perspective. So the library itself is a forced perspective. So I think you had a chance to see it too, right?
Yes,
so
it's so cool.
Right. So you walk in and all the spines of the books have really like cheeky things. Like there was one that said like there's one box that said like unused deep fakes or Supreme Court actors. Then there were like diagrams of kind of how culture evolves and how truth is shaped.
Those were fascinating.
Yeah, I really, really love those. So I kind of wanted to ask you about, what your thoughts on that were and what do you think that exhibit was telling us about maybe truth or how truth is constructed in our time.
Yeah, that's such a hot topic. I mean, ever since the whole fake news thing. I mean, and as a journalist, it's scary because, you work so hard to get things right and be correct. And the idea that somebody can just come and be like, nope, that's fake news. That's not right. And that not holding any reverence for information and like science.
Yeah.
And so to see that was amazing and also reminds you of the importance of like just a library, which are also at risk, I feel, and then just to take this humorous approach, but then to be so thoughtful, especially with those diagrams.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw the exhibit, I didn't even notice those. But then the second time I went around and I was like, okay, this puts a whole new perspective on that.
They're so complex. And like, to your point, a second viewing is multiple viewings. Fortunately, this is, I believe, an archival piece. So it's gone now, but it will eventually come back to the MFA and just like live there, which is really cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were talking about. We actually got a chance to meet them. Like,
they
were there the day that I
cool.
went, which was really cool. Another thing that kind of stuck with me was literally the title. Like the first part of it, the last library for. So there have been multiple last libraries, which, you know, it's kind of like an oxymoron to call something last library and then follow it up with a number.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
what was really interesting when we were speaking with the artist, they were talking about when they decide to do the last library. This last iteration came about during the pandemic, and I believe that they did the first one around the year 2000.
Wow.
So yeah, so it got me thinking. I'm like, you know, art is very much a time capsule, and I think that time capsule, I think it serves as a really good time capsule of, like, you know, post-pandemic to now, because a lot of the themes are really relevant. So I don't know if they'll make another one. I hope that they'll keep making them as the world changes. But yeah, and then the second part of the title, Written in Water, did that kind of like, did that strike you? I was like, Written in Water.
I still don't understand where.
Okay. So I didn't understand this either. I was like, what are these guys talking about? Apparently it's this reference to, like, I believe it's called epitaph, like whatever they're writing on a gravestone. Yeah. Keats, on his gravestone, he said, "Here lies one whose name was writ in water." Wow. And he passed away very young in a very depressive state. And his mind frame was that I am ephemeral, I will be forgotten, I am going to be lost to time. So there's that kind of thread.
The impermanence.
And the fact that, again, ironically, this is an archival piece, but the material is cardboard. Right. I don't think that we mentioned that this entire library was constructed out of cardboard and paper. So there's this interesting tension between the archivist trying to preserve this piece and the piece not wanting to be preserved, and kind of being, you know, the nature of it being transformative and kind of impermanent.
Right. And you'd have to protect that work so hard. That's probably why it'll go away for a while, so because you can't have works on paper or cardboard or things out.
But it'll be back. Maybe as 5, maybe as a 4. But and we're also going to be back in a few moments. Absolutely. We're talking with someone really, really cool. Who are we talking with?
She's so cool. Colleen Cherry, star of Jobsite Theater's production of Penelope.
And we'll be back. And we're back!
We're here with Colleen Cherry, who is a local actor, vocalist. You're also a producer. You have a indie pop band.
All the things.
What's your band called?
The Sugar Bats. We've been recording our album for like 3 years, but it's no big deal. Coming soon.
Great. And she's the star of Jobsite Theater's production of Penelope, a one-woman show about, very timely, the wife of Odysseus, which I like to say Odysseus. I love, because the Odyssey movie is out right now, people are saying Ulysses, but I've always remembered it as Odysseus, right?
He's Odysseus in the movie.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I don't know why other people...
Ulysses is the Roman version, I think.
Okay.
And the James Joyce, but anyways.
But Penelope is the wife.
Penelope's always the wife.
Who's been away from him for 20 years?
20 years. 20 years, yeah.
So tell us about the show.
So it is very much, it is the Odyssey, exactly, from Penelope's perspective, and she's kind of the periphery character in that, like, they just mention, like, oh yeah, and Penelope was there, and she was her good, faithful wife, and she tricked the suitor, she's so clever with her weaving, and raised the son on her own, single mom for 20 years, waiting and waiting and waiting for Odysseus, and she's a very kind of passive, she's weeping a lot in the poem, whatever you want to call it. Athena does actually come to her, answers her prayers, and she's like, where's my husband? She's like, I can't speak of things as fickle as the wind. That's it. And she's like, cool, bro. And then Penelope goes and cries. In this version, she has her say against Athena, and it's not passive. There's a lot of activity in the waiting and the ruling the city. Like, she is the leader of the city while he's gone. And their suitors all show up in her house, and her son takes off to go look for Odysseus. Yeah. So she's got a whole life going on, and going on her own emotional journey throughout this whole play and through the 20 years of waiting.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's all it's a musical.
It is a musical,
and
yeah.
It's heavy on songs,
Oh,
right?
yeah. So we have it's a chamber orchestra that is the backing. So we have Jeremy Douglas on keys, Woody Bond on drums, and then we have our string section. We have Tom Kersey, Rebecca Zapin, and Gina Castellano. So these beautiful string orchestrations, and the music is a whole other character. That is, it's the ocean, it's the suitors, it's time passing. Like it brings all of these emotions in a way that, like, I don't know, only like a cello can draw out of you, you know?
Wow.
Right, cello, top 10 instrument,
Right.
not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Something that really struck me was the poster of her. She's kind of seeing the boat off, but she's like literally toasting to Odysseus. And is that like, what is the vibe? What is the tone? Because I got a lot from that, but I want you to tell us.
So it's not just like this sad Greek tragedy. It's very much written in the modern speak.
Yeah.
I drop a couple F-bombs, so think about
Okay,
that if you want to bring the
F-bombs.
kids, right? You know, you got it. You're waiting for 20 years. She's got a lot on her plate. But the second song, and a lot of people ask, like, oh, do I need to see the Odyssey? Do I need to be familiar with that story? You don't. I've got you covered. There's a whole song of this sort of exposition, and it's called Drunk Iliad, where I'm like talking about the Trojan War and Helen of Troy and all of that. Like, here's what happened, and here's why my husband is gone. And I'm doing shots the entire time throughout the song, and encouraging the audience to drink too. If that's your jam, drink with me.
Is it in the Jabe?
No, it's in the Schimberg.
Okay,
So
it is.
intimate
Very
setting.
intimate, yeah.
The audience kind of wraps around on three sides. So I do a lot of direct address. So if you're sitting in the front row, you're going to get a whole lot of. I'm not pulling anyone up on stage.
Okay, good.
But there's a lot of eye contact.
You know, one of my greatest fears is like interactive theater. I don't know if you know this, but it triggers my flight or fight response deeply.
Yeah.
You know, I try my best.
I will
but
find you. Even if you sit in the back, I'll just be like,
and
hi.
you know what, Colleen?
Cheers.
Actors do. They can sense my
can.
energy and they will seek me
can.
out.
Yes.
And I'm like, you know, my social anxiety, I can't like run out of this room. So I'm gonna like nod. And
I try to be sensitive to that as a performer. I like find the participators where I'm like, okay, you're gonna be fun, but sometimes the participators get a little too participatory, especially when alcohol is involved. You're like, okay, remember what the name of the show is? It's not you, Bob. Like, calm down.
Right. It's a fine art, one that like many have mastered. So yes, absolutely. One thing that you said was with Drunk Iliad. Is it kind of like Drunk History? That was like one of my like favorite shows where it's kind of her recollection of how things happen and maybe not what we think.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it is. I love this because it's the women's perspective of these stories that are historically male driven, and these heroes, Achilles and Odysseus, and like, oh, poor Helen of Troy, and like, she was so pretty, she caused a war.
Yeah.
So Helen and Penelope were cousins. They grew up together. Okay. Odysseus courted Helen.
Oh.
So there's a little bit of that, like, yep, she was my pretty best friend. I was always second fiddle to her. I was the consolation prize. Like, if my husband had his way, he would have married her. But it's fine, I'm over it. But it's kind of a, like, she phrases it several times of, like, what, Helen didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
Helen didn't ask for all of this war to happen around her and all of these men to die. It's just a power play between these men, but they blame it on the woman, of course.
Yeah.
So all of these characters who are kind of like ancillary to the stories, she gets to bring another perspective to it. And that's like the beauty of the show. Like, hey, there were women too.
Right. And
that were affected by it.
And like the tagline is like, we've waited 2,500 years to hear her side of the story.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, no offense, Christopher Nolan, I know you're watching. I saw the Odyssey. It was a great movie. It was fun.
Yeah.
But it's not. There was no character development to me.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of like, why should we care? My favorite is the 90s made-for-TV Odyssey, the miniseries. If you haven't seen it.
I did.
Yeah.
That's
my favorite. That's my Odyssey. That's what I grew up on and what made me obsessed with the Odyssey as a kid. And then, of course, the Wishbone episode. But anyway, Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, I didn't feel emotionally connected to anybody in it.
Yeah.
if I'm doing my job right, everyone's going to feel emotionally connected to Penelope.
Yeah.
And like, I've had the whole rehearsal room weeping, and I'm like, yes!
Success.
And like, and it's not even what I am doing, it is the music, it is the writing, like it is just a genius piece of theater and storytelling, and it's new. We're one of the first in the countries to get to do it.
That's
what's really exciting.
I noticed that. And who is the playwright?
So 3 playwrights. Alex Bechtel is the composer. It was his idea. Initially, he wrote it in COVID. So he was separated from his partner and was kind of their relationship was kind of falling apart from what I've read. And he started writing this music. It just came to him. And then he realized, like, I'm writing as Penelope from the Odyssey. So it started out as a COVID musical. There's a concept album out there where his friends, like, I think recorded all of their string parts in their apartments, and then he put it together, which is cool because the Bjorkestra did a couple of things like that when we were in COVID, a couple lockdown musical projects.
Yes.
But then, you know, once pandemic was passed, he brought on some collaborators, Eva Steinmetz, who is the other book writer and who has directed the iterations of it that they've been involved in, and Grace McLean, who is Queen, Broadway actress, who she created the role. You know, they needed someone that could help develop it, and
I love that.
a lot of kind of what she brought to the book to make it of like, here's her story, here's Penelope's story. So they developed into the stage. There were a couple stage readings of it. They're in Edinburgh Fringe right now doing it, the whole OG team. So it's really exciting. They've been having sold out runs. So like the world is discovering this musical right now, and like it's going to be a game changer. It's kind of the perfect that it was created in COVID because it's sort of the perfect post-COVID musical. It's small cast.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even need a set. Like, we've got platforms and a psych.
Yeah.
Like, super simple
need,
and amazing musicians, but it is really simple storytelling at its finest. It's kind of like hearkening back to the Greeks, right?
Yeah.
Of just like, you don't need all that pageantry and technical elements.
No.
Totally.
It is a story.
Amazing. And when does it open and when does it run through?
We open Wednesday. So August 19th is our first preview. So those are technically still rehearsals, but we open. We have an audience. Opening night is Friday, and then we run through September 6th. So it's just a 3-week run. We have added 2 performances because the demand has been it's been selling out, which usually doesn't happen.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Before a show has started, we'll usually add it like, okay, cool, tickets are picking up, word of mouth is getting out there, and then we'll add it. But we've added 2 matinees already, so I'm preparing myself for the 2 show days and what I'm going to do to like reset. Because man, I go through like a whole roller coaster of emotions, and I'm just like,
it's a marathon. Pun intended.
It is a big old. It's a vocal marathon. It's an emotional marathon. Like
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So exciting.
We can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Colleen.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
And thanks for watching. You can follow, like, subscribe, do whatever your heart desires. See you next time.
See ya.